like what happens when you get accepted, and like what is it like to be an exhibitor? Like, do you become part of some like cool secret club or something? Hey, I'm Benny, also known as bennizone, and this year in 2024, I am one of the exhibitor. I'll be exhibiting at the Shortbox Comics Fair. What's Shortbox Comics Fair? Well, it's a comics fair that takes place annually, digitally, so fully online. And basically, artists, they will apply to participate, and then upon getting accepted, they will create a new comic, so that will debut at the fair. That will then be like displayed on this digital storefront for people globally to look through and buy the ones that they like. It's really cool. Basically the pipeline is, as I said, you get accepted, and then the application's open now, and I'll put on the screen when they close, because I don't remember off the top of my head. But basically, like at the end of the fair, I think that's around the time when the applications close. And then after that, I believe it's in December or January, then you find out when you're accepted, whether you have been accepted. And then you have basically all the way up until August that year as a accepted artist to create your new comic. And then, the organizer makes everything get everything ready, and then October, it goes off with a bang. All of the comics are displayed and bought and enjoyed, and then it's just like rinse and repeat. New artists are brought in. Sometimes people come back, so it's possible to exhibit multiple times as well. That's up to the organizer, what comics they wish to display, of course. You can read more about that and all that process on the website. But yeah, that's basically what it is. Like, I remember when I hadn't been part of it yet, right? Like, I was like, oh, it's so mysterious. It's so like, how do you even, like, what happens when you get accepted, and like, what is it like to be an exhibitor? Like, do you become part of some like cool secret club or something? Basically, I thought it was very exciting. I want people to know what it's like, and I hope that they can encourage people to apply who might be a little bit intimidated, or maybe some people are going to be like, oh, I thought I wanted to join, but I don't want to, like it's you get out whatever you get out of the video, that's great. So let's get started. My application pretty much looks identical to last year, except of course with new content on the in the application, right? Like, so no fresh art for the organizer to check out. But anyway, so I made a simple site with the card.co, which displays what kind of comic work I'm able to do and what style I'm currently into working in. So that the organizer will know kind of like what they should be expecting from the comic that I will be creating, right? The previous years I did just submit my portfolio site, but for my 2024 application, as in the one that got me accepted into this year's fair, I wanted to specifically show off my comics, because I figured that, that's what the organizer is going to be like wanting to see, right? So I just kind of try to focus in on that and show off my best work. And then just link everything, right? Else, like my portfolio and so forth. So that was my thought process when making the card page. So I want to talk about my experience specifically being in the fair, right? Sure, I got accepted, and then what, basically? So my comic for the 2024 fair is Stagnation Seed, which I would love if you checked out, by the way. It's like an eerie kind of sci-fi personal drama, is how I would categorize it. So I know my own workflow really well. I've made similar length comics before. Stagnation Seed is 59 pages. And I've also done 59 pages in like this approximate time frame before, so I knew I could do it, first of all. And also I've made mini comics before, so I know my own process really well, which allows me just a bit of freedom. That's just like something to keep in mind when you listen to the rest of my process, right? Like, just know, like, I am a comic artist and I've been making comics for a long time. My prep work usually consists of a messily typed script and some thumbnail notes. I rarely do extensive scripting or extensive thumbnailing, which I know is a process that some people are not going to be comfortable with, and it's so individual. I think my main comics advice for anybody is to find something like a workflow where you feel like I accomplish what I want to accomplish with my work by doing these steps. And of course you can only figure that out by trying different things. So my process is quite chaotic, but I've had success and a lot of fun working this specific way. So I do it, and I'll keep doing it forever. Basically, I love having the experience of reading my work as I'm creating it, right? Like, I have an idea about what's gonna happen. It's all like in here, and I have some scripts and like some things, but as I'm creating it, it's kind of like it also tells itself, and I just really enjoy that. And I've heard from others that they feel that the anxiety they feel from the unknown kind of makes their comics process worse. So therefore they'll plan more so that they can relax into the process. And I think that's truly what it's about. It's about finding out how you can relax into the process and let as much anxiety as possible go. Because I think that's where stuff gets really exciting. That's a bit of art musing. But anyway, that's the kind of thought that goes into like me creating a comic, right? I had a few different comics ideas along the way. Around February, I really locked in on Stagnation Seed. I think I had 3 stories-ish that I was just juggling around a little bit before I landed on Stagnation Seed. Start drawing a page or 2 of the third idea that I got. The first 2, they kind of just stayed as ideas and little few sketches, and then the third one I actually started drawing, and I had it pretty much planned out. In my kind of rough script thumbnail weirdness stage, but I didn't feel it really, and I allowed myself to change it up, and I landed on, as I said in February, I landed on Stagnation Seed, which is a comic that it had been floating around in here for a while before that, a year. I think I had ideas and vague story beats, but it wasn't a final comic yet. I had drawn, I think, 7 pages of it, but I was unsure about where it was gonna go, and I never showed it to anybody really. I showed some tidbits, some panels here and there, so the dialogue was kind of different, and so anyway, I returned to this project. I actually looked at it and I was like, how do I actually want it to go if I'm gonna finish it for short bucks? Then, because obviously it's unreleased, so it's within the rules, right? Unreleased, never seen before. So I looked at it and I was like, how could I actually finalize this project? And I figured it out, and then I finished up the first pages that I had made previously. I actually finalized them, edited them to a stage where I was like, okay, this is actually what they're gonna look like. And then I continued drawing, and yes. So that's Stagnation Seed. Discord page, and I want to talk about the community aspect of joining the fair. So it's absolutely you don't have to join the Discord, and you don't have to have any social aspect of joining. If you don't want to, you can just sit and make a comic. Maybe you're a seasoned artist, or maybe you're just not that social, or maybe seeing other people's progress makes you anxious. I don't know, there's a lot of reasons not to do it, but you can, and I was really excited to join. I really wanted to. I was excited because I don't know, for me personally, art is very social. I love ping-ponging, and I was excited to see what it was like. I ended up not, engaging as much as I might have liked in the Discord, but nonetheless, I was very excited to see it. It starts out as an empty server. There's not a clean slate, and then a few what's it called, chat rooms. I don't think that's the Discord term, but whatever. Where you can share your progress, and you can talk. And the tone is generally casual, and people are really nice. And then people will just share pages and thoughts, worries, thoughts about I don't know, just general. Mostly people talk about their comics. It wasn't so much what you had for lunch type of stuff, like, and people didn't like what's it called, voice chat. Yeah, it was really nice to be able to ask. Like, you can just like ask, hey, what's people's experiences with lettering? What's people's experiences with this and that? Hey, I've been kind of worried about me doing this. Is it wrong if I do this? And people will generally be like, no, or, you know, give advice. And it's really nice. I really love that. So I want to get into like more advice stuff, I suppose. I've already been giving a few of my thoughts, but specifically I want to get into just like, I don't know, I get advice. So as mentioned, I applied 3 times before getting in, and I want to say that there's just like a lot of people submitting, and there's a lot of reasons why you might get in or not get in. It's not personal, certainly, and it's not discouragement from like applying again. Like, you should definitely try again if that's something that you want to do, because as I said, there's a lot of reasons. It might just be like it was between you and one other person, and it happened that maybe that one person had made one more comic than you, and it really was like so nitty gritty that the decision was just really just like, damn, I guess. Like, so I guess the first advice here is not so much technical as much as it is art is very personal, and it's understandable to feel hurt. Like, it's okay to feel hurt when you felt, maybe you were like, damn, I really put together a nice portfolio for this year to show off, and I'm confident that I'm gonna get in, and then you don't, and it sucks. I that's how I felt. Like, the third year I was like, damn, I'm gonna nail it this time. Well, there you go. But next year I did, and I'm actually pretty happy about it, because I feel like I've gotten better and learned more about myself in that process, like in that year where I didn't get in. So in the end, to me it felt like a blessing in disguise. All right, as for planning, now this is more technical, right? Planning is so hard, and comics is so labor intensive. But this is not even just the fair, it's just like in general. People they underestimate how much labor and work a comic can really truly be to make, and I've seen people inside the fair and outside the fair, like, generally say that, oh, I just made a short comic of only 20 pages, and I'm like, 20 pages is so much. That's a lot of work. Like damn, like, yeah, especially like for the like kind of print format, as in like, you know, there's generally like 6 panels a page, and, you know, like that kind of thing. That's so many drawings. Oh my god. Do not underestimate. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I really want to underline the fact that comics are crazy. I love them, but they are crazy in a good way. 20 pages is a lot, especially if you haven't been making them for that long. It's just like a shame if anybody feels like, oh, like, if I don't make a 70-page comic, like, why even join? No. Please, there's a reason why the limit is 16 pages. It's because 16 pages is a good chunk. It's a good comic length. I personally really like short form comics, because it can really like give people a taste for your artistic vision. It can really also, like, a lot of us have a lot of stories to tell, right? And okay, so say you've been accepted. Stylistically, remember, you've already been accepted. You don't need to somehow outdo that person who got accepted, right? You don't need to prove yourself to that person who already got accepted. The organizer saw your work and was like, yeah, we want that. So it's easy to kind of like be in the presence of so many awesome artists and be like, whoa, I gotta do something better than I've ever done. And it's like, you should put your best into it, and you're already at that. The level that you're at is already really great. So don't like dig yourself into the ground because of imposter syndrome, because you're like, oh god, I gotta truly like do something totally different than I've ever done before. It's like, no, your application is what got you in. So just like do what you do best, because that's what they want, right? Another technical thing, which so I really wanted to hand letter my comic, but I just didn't have time for it. I have a few darlings that you can kill if you're pressured for time. So I ended up having to use a font. I made a font so that it would look kind of like in line with my style. At the end of this video, I'm gonna include some really useful resources that I used when putting together my comics. So, you know, that's at the end. But anyway, darlings could be a few scenes where it's like the comic would be perfect if it had these scenes, but it's possible to omit them for the final project without like losing clarity. So that could be like a pretty drastic change, like you literally having to omit scenes, but maybe you have to. So have those kind of thoughts in mind. Some less drastic things could be lettering. It could be color. Maybe you'll just do grayscale instead of a full color comic. So, like, stuff like that. A last thing, which is not so technical, but it's also, I guess, again, it's a bit personal. A few people did drop out this year, and I think the way that you should I'm including it because it's something that can happen, and I don't know, I want to like talk about all the realities of this kind of project. And I think the best thing to do is to just be professional and honest about it. If you realize life happened, maybe something serious happened in your personal life, maybe, like, who knows, anything could happen that would make it impossible for you to create this work. And it's not a shameful thing that life happens to you. And I think truly just be honest, like, write the organizer, let them know in a like succinct professional way, just like you would a book publisher, right? Like, let them know what the situation is, and it'll be respected. Professionalism was mentioned a few times during this process. Like, it's wrapping up now, right? Like, October's coming up. We've submitted our comics, so through this process, professionalism came up. The organizer urged people to like stay professional, and I just want to mention it. So I didn't personally have issues around this, so I'm not entirely sure what it encompasses, but like what my takeaway was that speak about your comic in public in a way that you would also like speak to it to a publisher, if that makes sense. So like, of course, it's kind of just like, it's a digital online event, but it's still a professional event. It's still a professional opportunity. So, that was my general takeaway of the message. So I wanted to mention it in this video, since I'm trying to like get a full, well-rounded idea of the event. So yeah, hope that's helpful. So, and that last key point, or like a takeaway thing, is share your progress, share your process online. People love to see it. I'm not saying this just like as in like, oh, stay on the grind, but more as in like, comics are awesome. They take a lot of work, and people deserve, or like more like you deserve, to share it and let people enjoy it. So like, everybody benefits from like seeing all the cool work you put into it. Of course, there's a limit to how much you can share. A short box comics fair rules. There's a few things there, but process and progress is awesome. People love to see it. It's great. So share it. Okay, so at the end, I said I was going to share some cool tools, and first up is 24 PDF. It's a website that has like it's a free program with like some PDF tools that are really helpful to like compiling the PDF, compressing it, making it so you can send it in. There's online to PDF. That's if you don't want to download a program. This is a website that does a lot of similar things. I've used it a lot in the past as well. It's also free. Yeah, and there's the art program. Fire Alpaca is the one that I use to put in my font. It's really good. I remember using it like a long time ago, like when I was a teenager, and it was pretty bare bones, but then I downloaded it again because it was recommended in the Discord by somebody when I asked about software, and it really got an upgrade. Like, it's really extensive now, and it really was good, so I liked it a lot. And there was a third thing that I was going to mention, and that third thing was Calligrapher, a font making tool. I'm gonna be a bit quiet because my wife is sleeping, but I forgot to do an outro. I just want to say thanks for watching, and hope you'll check out the Short Box Fair in October. Thank you.